Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're looking at one of the most famous, high-stakes, ticking clock gambles in all of military history, the Schlieffen Plan. Okay, let's dive into this.
Imagine you're in a schoolyard, right? And suddenly you are cornered by two opponents at the exact same time. If you try to fight both of them at once, dividing your attention, you're definitely going to lose. Your only hope? You have to knock one out quickly before the other one can even throw a punch.
But this wasn't a schoolyard. This was Europe in the early 1900s. Part 1, the problem, the two-front war dilemma. So the crucial point is,
Germany was absolutely terrified of a two-front war. This is a total nightmare scenario, where a country is forced to split its army to fight enemies on both its western and eastern borders simultaneously. With a powerful France to the west and a massive Russia to the east, Germany knew fighting both at once was a guaranteed way to lose.
They desperately needed a way out. Enter German General Alfred von Schlieffen. Part 2, the plan, this 6-week countdown against Russia.
Schlieffen looked closely at his two enemies. On one side, France had a heavily fortified direct border with Germany. But Russia? Well, Russia was absolutely massive, old-fashioned, and honestly had a terrible railway system. Schlieffen calculated that Russia's sheer size and bad trains made them a very slow-moving target. Now, what's really interesting here is the concept of mobilization. That's the massive action of a country getting its army, troops, and supplies organized and moved to the border to prepare for active warfare. Schlieffen guessed it would take the huge, slow Russian Empire at least 6 sledgehammer weeks to fully mobilize.
That gave Germany exactly 42 days. Imagine a ticking clock, counting down just 42 days for Germany to launch a lightning-fast surprise attack, completely knock France out of the war, and secure that western border before Russia was even ready to fight.
To beat that crazy 42-day clock, Germany needed a shortcut to bypass all those heavy French forts. The strategy was simple, rapid, and incredibly risky. Step 1, march the entire army right through neutral Belgium. Step 2, defeat France in those 42 days. And Step 3, turn the whole army around, pack them onto trains, and race east to fight Russia.
But, reality is rarely that neat. Let's move to Part 3, the failure, why it triggered trench warfare, and see how this builds. The whole grand gamble basically collapsed for 4 rapid-fire reasons. First, fierce Belgian resistance. Belgium didn't just let the Germans pass. They fought back incredibly hard, slowing the entire advance. Second, this invasion triggered the British to immediately enter the war. Third, unexpected Russian speed. They mobilized way faster than anyone thought. And fourth, it all culminated at the Battle of the Marne.
so what was the fatal flaw? Well, invading neutral Belgium wasn't just taking a geographical shortcut. It actually violated a long-standing treaty. Britain had promised to protect Belgium. The exact moment German boots crossed that border, Britain declared war, sending the British Expeditionary Force into fight and essentially turning a regional conflict into a massive world war.
You can see the timeline just rapidly unraveling. The plan hits a brick wall right in week 1 with that fierce Belgian resistance. By week 4, a surprisingly fast Russian mobilization forces Germany into a total panic, making them pull troops east way too early. And by week 6, the exhausted Germans are stopped dead in their tracks at the Marne. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate tragedy of the Schlieffen Plan. That hope of a lightning-fast 6-week victory just completely evaporated. The armies were completely exhausted and could no longer advance. As the source material notes, both sides dug in, leading to years of brutal trench warfare right outside of Paris.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative question. Did the ultimate plan to avoid a long war actually guarantee one? In trying to outrun a two-front war, Germany's massive gamble completely failed, actively dragged Britain into the fight, and birthed the brutal reality of the trenches. Definitely something to think about the next time you try to take a shortcut. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.